Prescott can do no wrong. Opposing coaches say he's the most physical quarterback around. Teammates brag about his leadership, and Heisman voters are lining up. Time for another test in what's been a straight-A semester for Hail State.
We're talking about the SEC West for 2015 preseason team rankings within the conference, within the SEC. We've already got the East. We're done with the East. We got. If you haven't watched those videos, go back and watch them. I think I described in decent detail of how these teams are going to do. I had a lot of different ideas on how to approach these videos. I thought about making 14 separate videos, but I thought, oh my God, there's no way. So I try to give you 3 or 4 minutes on each team, and then hop to the next team on every video. But then I don't like videos that go beyond 7 minutes, and sadly I've had to do that. To me, anything above a 6-minute video is too long, so I've already wasted enough time. I am Tyzilla83, as always. Please like the video if you like it down below. Comment if you have any comments or questions or anything you want to say. Please do so down below. Not enough SEC bickering. I've only seen a little bit, you know. Well, nothing big. I want some bickering down there. I want you guys to just forget you. You all suck. Only my team is the greatest. If you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. Starting off with teams number 7 and 6 today. This is tough for the opposite reason. The SEC West, that is. It's tough for the opposite reason as to why the SEC East is so tough. In the SEC East, outside of maybe 2 teams, there's a whole lot of mediocrity. And I know everyone's team, they have a special view on their team. Well, now, wait a minute. Kentucky's got Stoops, and they did really well recruiting. And you know, wait, South Carolina and whoa, Florida, what? You really think they're going to be... But when you look at it from the outside looking in, you kind of have a different view. But there's so much mediocrity in the SEC East. It's the opposite in the West. There's a lot of teams here. 6 out of 7 teams in the SEC West could go to most other conferences and compete for being the best within their conference. Now, I know that's based on 2015. You could probably say the opposite for a couple of teams in the SEC West. And based on bowl games, SEC West didn't win a lot of their bowl games. Only Arkansas and A&M won their bowl games. Outside of that, everybody lost. We know Alabama lost in the first playoff games for the postseason to Ohio State, who would become the eventual national champions. So let's break down the SEC West. I've got number 7. I have Mississippi State. Yep, the team that was ranked number 1 in the country for a little while last year, who nearly beat Alabama, who escaped a close game against Arkansas, who I think they averaged something like 39 points a game or something. This team was really good last season offensively. Defensively, didn't leave a whole lot there to really be excited about. But let's go into their MVP. Dak Prescott is their MVP, right? I mean, 6'2", 230-pound Dak Prescott. Passing last year, he was 244 out of 396, 61 pass percentage completion ratio, 3,449 yards, 27 touchdowns, and only 11 picks. Can you imagine what he could do if he could minimize those interceptions, cut them in half? They may have won some more games last year. They, of course, last year finished 10-3, which is respectable. I mean, hell, that's good. Even by Tennessee or by Alabama standards, 10 wins is fine in the SEC West. Of course, they didn't end the year out quite like they wanted to. They lost to Ole Miss, which was confusing. And then they lost to Georgia Tech in the Orange Bowl. So it was a good year. All in all, I think Mississippi State fans can look back and go, wow, 2014 was wonderful. 2015, however, is going to be a little bit difficult. Dak Prescott, really the only proven starter returning for 2015. Other than that, they've got a whole lot of question marks. Now, that's why you put them so low, because they lost so many players. I think they're only returning 4 on offense, 3 on defense, 7 players returning out of out of 22 players. That's it. I mean, it's going to be interesting. The recruiting class, let's break down stats first before we get into recruiting. Scoring, this is the number 16 overall team in the country scoring. Rushing, they were 21. Passing, they were 22. Total offense, they were ranked 8th. Defensively, they've got to tighten some things down, and sadly, I think it's only going to take a step back considering who they lost. 23rd overall scoring. So in between the red zones, it seems like they did okay. Rush defense was 44th in the country. Pass defense was 114th. Total, that puts them at 84th overall total defense. That's why I have Mississippi State. I've got them between 5 and 7 wins for 2015. I know that's, wow, what? But yeah. And on the 7th day, God, well, according to A&M fans, gave us the Texas A&M Aggies. Texas A&M, you are the most confusing team in college football. So let's make it short and sweet on A&M. MVP, Myles Garrett. Why? Freshman, 12 sacks, 6'5", 265-pound freshman. He's got NFL written all over him. He's got Texas A&M Hall of Famer written all over him, and will be a force to be reckoned with on the line of scrimmage. Sure, we could talk about Kyle Allen, as a true freshman last year, came in and put up some pretty good numbers the second half of the season. One thing he's got to work on those is interceptions. But he's I'm not going to say he's Johnny Manziel by any stretch of the imagination, but he's a really good player. Stats, offensively, this team was great. They didn't run the ball well, but they sure as hell threw the ball really well. They were number 1 passing offense in the SEC, 12th in the country, 26th overall scoring offense, 5th in the SEC. Defensively, and by the way, that ranked them 5th in the SEC, 30th nationally. Defensively, scoring, they were 11th, 75th in the country, giving up 20, almost right at 28 points a game. Run defense was atrocious. The worst run defense in the SEC, 109th in the country. Secondary wasn't, well, yeah, they were pretty bad. 11th or 12th, 13th in the SEC and 80th in the country. They bring in John Chavis from LSU. A lot of A&M fans feel like, oh, well, we got the talent, we're fine. You know, he automatically, no. When you score in 7 plays or less, when your offense is the McDonald's drive-through or the Taco Bell 5 minutes or under drive-through, well, for A&M it's 2 minutes or under off the play clock or game clock. It's hard on your defense, and I don't care who your defense coordinator is. And I think you could say the same thing at Auburn. They bring in Muschamp from Florida, who's the head coach, obviously, and everyone thinks they're going to be just fine. And I think Auburn is in a pretty good situation because they actually run the ball. They do run a hurry-up system, but they actually run the ball. They do give their defense. And I think defensively they're just better. I think talent, depth, and everything else, I think Auburn's just better than A&M is. And even if they have Myles Garrett, who, my God, is this guy going to be a beast. I can't wait to watch him play this year. One hell of a player. But there's plenty of reasons. It's just as easy to put these guys at the bottom of the SEC West when it's almost just as easy to put them at the top. When you look at their offense, when you break down what they do on offense. And, Kevin Sumlin hasn't had a bad year. I mean, my gosh, he's 63 and 28. His career record in 7 years. Record at school is 28 and 11. This guy just knows how to get it done. Offensively, he's one of the best coaches, or they have one of the best systems under his coaching. Remember what he did at Houston, and it's done well at A&M. The problem has been defense. If you can't play defense in the SEC, you will not win the SEC. You won't win. They haven't even won the division yet, despite having guys like Johnny Manziel, Evans, great offensive linemen, the Jokel brothers, and they still can't win the SEC West. Why? Defense. You got to play defense, and if they pick it up defensively this year, if their players buy into Chavis' system like that, and they actually develop players on the defensive side of the ball, this team could be really dangerous. They won 8 games last year. I have them between, once again, I had them at 6 to 8 wins. But on the flip side of that, I wouldn't be surprised to see these guys go on and do even better than that. But I've got them at 6 and 8. So that's it for these two teams. Thanks a lot. You guys remember to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, comment, or if you've got any questions or comments, do so down below. Thanks a lot, guys. Peace.